welcome to Metal Wani. With us today we have the Swedish maestro himself, Speed from Soilwork. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I am doing damn good. Just 7 days left for your tour, Australian tour, which starts on Feb 10th.
We've done 5 tours in Australia before, so
Awesome.
this will be our sixth time. I can't believe that. We came to Australia at a pretty early stage in our career, already in I believe the first time was 2003. So
Excellent.
yeah,
Awesome. And then obviously I'm sure you guys would have played some festivals as well over the period of time.
we've never done Soundwave for some reason. So it's always been. I think we first time we did a headline tour, and then later the same year we tour with Anthrax and Killswitch Engage.
Hmm.
Yeah, but no Soundwave so far.
No, it's actually anyway been a disaster this year. It's been cancelled. So
Yeah, I mean, I was sad to hear about Soundwave as well. There were talks about us being on that festival, but now obviously it's better that we did our own headline tour.
awesome, man. Good to hear that. And obviously, you have a very strong fan base in Australia. And like you said, 6 tours. Has it ever been like every time when you've come to Australia, you've been surprised with the number of fans that have come out, the aggression, the level of the integrity of the fans is out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. It's always such a good vibe when you tour Australia. Great fans and yeah, some really intense shows for sure.
Awesome. And you guys are touring machines. I mean, you were on tour with Soulfly for We Sold Our Souls to Metal. You did a lot of shows in States. Then you came back, did a European tour. I think in December, you guys played a lot of European cities. And now Christmas over, and now you're heading to Australia. So there's no stop to this engine right now.
No, not really. No, we needed January off, because the European tour led us all the way up till Christmas.
Right.
So it was good to have some time off to recharge our batteries, and now we're doing Australia, New Zealand, then Japan and Korea,
Hmm.
and then it's looking like we might do another North American tour after that. So yeah, we have a pretty busy schedule.
That's awesome. You guys are heading to Japan and Korea after directly from Australia, or it's going to happen somewhere in like April, May or something?
No, directly.
Oh, directly. Okay. Awesome. Good to hear that. And having played in various territories, various continents over the period of time, as a musician, what differences did you mainly find in fans, touring with Soulfly in States and then doing your own shows in Europe and now coming to Australia? So 3 different regions, 3 different cultures. What's your feeling about playing these 3 different areas?
I think like 10 years ago, you could definitely sense the difference, but I think the fans are becoming more and more similar, especially in their reactions to what songs, that they, get them going and stuff like that. So I think it's becoming the metal community is becoming more and more kind of like similar. It's getting tighter and it's so spread out as well at the same time. There's a lot of countries picking up on metal as well, and with India as well, and so it's really cool, that it's still growing. It's a very strong scene.
Absolutely. And the Ride Majestic obviously have put you on another level now. 5 months over since the release, 10th studio album. I mean, you guys have been like damn busy from last 15 years. So for you, with an album like Living Infinite setting a bar so high, how challenging was it to deliver an album like Ride Majestic to make sure fans get something which they expected?
Well, I think it was. I'm not gonna say it was easy, but we felt very inspired after, recording The Living Infinite.
Hmm.
We recorded 27 songs, and 20 of them ended up on the album, and we definitely found something new with that album. And we rediscovered ourselves as songwriters, and we found new ways to express ourselves, and we kind of recaptured that Scandinavian melancholy that we had in the beginning of our career and kind of brought it back, and we felt really excited about working with melancholic melodies and also make it very intense, and experiment with dynamics, and I
Right.
think we really succeeded with this new album. Doing that as well. We're definitely not slowing down. I think it's one of our most intense albums to date.
Absolutely. It surely is. And even the way the lineup changes have happened over the period of time, somehow, the band has been able to continue the momentum, even though the main songwriter left few years ago, but still the machine continues with great albums, really quality albums. So, you know, what do you feel has been this sort of an inspiration to stay true to the Soilwork sound or vision?
I don't think it's ever been something that we discussed that much. I think we've just been lucky enough to have, there's been lineup changes, as you mentioned. I mean, but there's been people coming into the band that brought something interesting to the table.
Right.
Like Dirk, when he joined the band in 2004, he was more of an extreme metal drummer compared to our previous drummer, Henry. And so that gave us a new challenge as well. And he's a fantastic drummer. So I think he brought so much... so many interesting things to the table, and then the addition of David and Sylvain as well, fantastic guitarists and songwriters, and I think that also challenged me as a singer, and so I definitely developed from that, and this band has always been very objective, and so it's never been a matter of, when Peter jumped off the second time, it's like, okay, we need to find somebody who can play like Peter or, write songs the same way he does.
Right.
It was never a question about that, it was more objective. We just need to find somebody that works on a personal level and understands the vision, but also brings something
New.
different. And I think that's one of the reasons that we managed to stay interesting.
Absolutely, and in your own words, explain the affinity fans have towards Doug Blasts. I mean, you guys have heard it all the while. I mean, being on tour, fans everywhere, even on Soilwork Facebook page, so many fans are love what Doug brings to the table. So when you are recording your vocals and you hear the already instrumental parts being played, has it always been like a time that you felt goosebumps to see how Dirk is unleashing hell on drums?
Yeah, I mean, it's always such a great kick, being in the studio, and you enter the studio with all the material done, and I mean, we also leave it open for some experimentation in the studio, but seeing him recording drums is such a great kick, and I feel like I just feel so good about being in a band where there's no limits, there's no boundaries to what we can do technically. But, again, it's not really about being technical. It's about writing good songs, but it definitely helps, and it's such a great kick, to feel that. It's like, oh, we can do whatever we want, if we want to. If we want to go there and play that fast or, do this or that, we can do it if we want to, and then we can just kind of focus on the actual songwriting, more than just, oh, we should do this. Do you think we can do that? It's like, and push ourselves, but it's all there.
Absolutely, and your vocals are one of the most, I would say, the universal selling point of the band in terms of how diverse they are. Now, be it your, be it screams or clean, there's a perfect amalgamation of speed bringing in his influences. So, how have you been able to practice your voice to keep it fit, to keep it, it shouldn't tire over the period of time? You're still able to pull it up live exactly the way we heard it on the album.
Well, thank you for saying that. Well, I mean, I think it has to do with a lot of touring. We have so much touring experience and also studio experience, and plus I've been singing a lot of types of different music. I've been doing everything from Frank Sinatra with a big band to I mean, I started the band the Night Flight Orchestra as well, which is like late 70s, early 80s classic rock. So I think I've managed to build my vocals like a lot stronger. My vocal cords can definitely take a beating, and I think especially doing the Night Flight Orchestra, I think it brought me so many things, and I took it with me to Soilwork as well, and I found my own voice, and it takes time, to to become a good singer, and it takes a lot of practice and touring experience and also studio experience. So
Absolutely. You've been the driving force for the band for 2 decades. I mean, it's you're heading towards the 2 decade, and I see a very glorious future as well. So when you look at the entire wonderful career of Soilwork, what's the most important lesson that you've learned from, being in a band and also making music?
Listen, that's a good question. I mean, we can make a comparison because my when I was growing up, my dream was to become a hockey player, to play in the
Okay.
NHL in North America.
Awesome.
That was my thing, and then I kind of got tired over it because it became so much business, if you know
Hmm.
what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
not about fun anymore. And then I got my first guitar, and I kind of slowly transitioned into to rehearsing with bands, and I found something new in music, and then it was really exciting. So it kind of replaced the kick I got out of hockey.
Hmm.
And then I was thinking to myself, this is so much more fun and less business. But then you actually started, being in a touring band, and then behind the scenes, there's so much business, and that's pretty much that's what I hate about the music scene. I'm very much a music guy. I'm not a businessman. I'm a really bad businessman, but my love for music is still, the main thing. But I've also learned that there's no way around it. You need to get involved in the business, otherwise you
Absolutely.
will get screwed over, unfortunately. But that's definitely the downside to it.
Absolutely. So it's like a journey from a hockey player to a metalhead.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Awesome, man. Good to hear that. Now, obviously, heading to India in next few months for the first time as well, and I know you have your friends, Polish friends, Vader, also coming along. So, must be a great excitement in the band to come to a particular country which first time you haven't been there. Number two is the cultural differences and how what you've heard from your friends about bands playing in India.
Mm. Well, I mean, I'm very excited about it and curious. I've never been to India before, and as far as I know, it's a festival as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love Indian food, for example, but obviously that's always what you hear from bands touring there, that different,
Yeah.
that they get a little bit of a stomach flu or whatever, and
Yeah.
so that's what you're a little bit scared of. But without being too, how can I say, judgmental, I'm ready for it, and I'm really excited to meet some of the Indian fans as well. It's definitely going to be a culture clash, I'm sure, so
Absolutely.
it will be really interesting to see their reaction when we play live, and to meet them in person, and yeah, it's going
Awesome,
to be cool.
man. In fact, it reminded me of Shimia from Destruction. He had come previous year, and these guys were eating for 3 days, only to realize the fourth day when they're back home, and they were like totally locked inside the restroom for days. So like this
But
is what happens when you eat like anything.
yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, and I mean, at least they were home, I guess. It would be the worst if you get it on the flight home, on the actual plane. That would be the worst, obviously. But anyways, I'm gonna enjoy the food for sure.
Absolutely, man. Good to hear that. Now, Speed, have a great time, in Australia. Have a great tour. Obviously, we would be there to cover the gig in Brisbane, but obviously, I will be looking forward personally to the gig in Bangalore. So, I would meet you there, and good luck with the Australian tour and even the Japanese one coming up. So, we will wait for you in India as well.
Thank you so much, and thank you for calling.
Thanks, dude. Catch you soon, huh?
Okay.
Take
All
care.
right. Take care.